Hey y'all, this past Sunday in our More Than Words series, we turned the dial from the ancient creeds of Nicaea to something a little closer to home in the Confession of 1967. If Nicaea was all about unity, this week in the Confession of 67 was about faith and what it does in the real world. We started by taking a trip back to the 1960s, and not just to the era of rock music and minivans, but a decade marked by real upheaval. Of civil rights marches and the Vietnam War, political assassinations, TV news that brought the world's troubles right into our living room. The world was shifting so fast, and so was the church. Presbyterians, who love to say that we are reformed and always reforming, realized that it had been over 3 centuries since we'd updated what we said we believed. Imagine this, say nothing new from the time of King Charles to Mick Jagger. So the church gathered up its courage and its best minds, and it asked some hard questions of itself. What is our place in a divided world? How do we respond to war and injustice and poverty? What does it mean to really follow Jesus here and now? That's where the Confession of 1967 was born. And at the heart of it was this idea of reconciliation, of God working to make things right, and the church's call to do the same. They took Paul's words seriously when he said, if anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. God has given us the ministry of reconciliation. The confession isn't just old words for old problems. It spoke out clearly against racism, calling the church to labor for the abolition of all discrimination and to stand with those who are hurt by it. It challenged us not to be indifferent to poverty, reminding us that ignoring the poor makes a mockery of our faith. And it pushed us out to seek peace, not just in our prayers, but also in our practical politics, committing to forgiveness and peacemaking even when the world is torn apart by war. So why does it matter now? Well, because those old headlines are still today's news. The struggle for racial injustice isn't over. Wars still rage. Poverty and division are on our doorstep. The words of 1967 ring out in the face of modern headlines as we see new walls go up, new divisions deepen, and fresh wounds appear. So here's what I'd invite you to do this week. First, start with this idea of reconciliation. Who in your life do you need to make peace with? Maybe it's a family member, a neighbor, or someone you've never really understood. Take that small step, no matter how small it may be. Second, don't look away. Where do you see injustice, racial, economic, or otherwise? How can you stand with those who are hurting? It might be as simple as listening, as bold as speaking out, or as practical as giving or serving. Also, live your faith outside of these church walls. The confession reminds us that faith isn't just what we say on Sunday morning, but it's what we do the rest of the week. So I wonder, where can you be an ambassador of Christ's reconciliation? At work? Maybe online, in our community? Remember, this calling isn't about fixing the world by ourselves. It's about recognizing God's new thing that is springing up and doing our part to help it grow. Next week, we'll keep exploring these creeds in our faith as they become more than words, as we explore the Barmen Declaration that came out of Nazi Germany. But for now, as a new creation, carry on the work of reconciliation wherever you go. See you Sunday.